Hi, my name is Tiago Duarte and welcome to another video here at Daily Beats. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to make your Techno Rumble sound more professional. Before we start, I would like to ask you to subscribe and activate notifications so that you know whenever I upload new videos. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. The first tip is to match your rumble with your kick in terms of tuning. So if you have a kick, let's say in the key of C, you can tune your bass rumble to match that key of C. And that's very important because if you have a good match between your kick and your bass, then you will have a better layout to make your track sound better. So let's jump into FL Studio so that I can show you what I mean. As you can see, I have here a kick, and this is a simple kick. And I have here some bass from Harmer. And in this case, I'm going to do this bass rumble with the bass. You can also do it with the kick, and that's what I'm going to do in the next 2 tips. But for this one, I'm going to show you how to do this with the bass so that you can do some kind of rumble. One way that you can check if your track is, or check the pitch of your sample, is to use Edison. As you can see, I already have an Edison instance here, and you can see it tells me that my kick is in the key of E and also A. I usually only use this beginning part here, so if it says E, I'm going to use E as my root note. So let's now play both the kick and the rumble, and you will see that I have the rumble here in the key of C. So let's see how this works. It sounds good, but we can make it a little bit more in tune with each other. And if we put this on the key of E, this is how it sounds. It's a minor difference, but I think this one makes it more in tune with the kick. And we can also go to A. As you can see, I don't like this as much as I like the key of E. And if I go now to the key of C, you see that it's not the most pleasing, I guess. And I think in the key of E, this makes the rumble way more interesting. And by having this, the rumble match your kick in terms of tuning, gives you a nice solid foundation to start adding other elements, other basses, other synths to your techno tracks. Tip number 2 is to make your rumble with your kick. And this is a very interesting technique. And most people will say that techno rumble is just with the kick. We can also do it with the bass, as you've seen here. But one of my go-tos is to use the kick as my source for the techno rumble. So let's jump into FL Studio so that I can show you what I have here. So as you can see, I already have a copy of the same kick. And it's a very basic kick, simple kick. And what I did was I created a patcher instance that I called Techno Kick Roll. Kick Roll, it can also be Techno Rumble. And as you can see, it's very simple. I have the kick signal going directly through here. So if I enable this, I can also add some. If I just play this line here, or this path here, you see that is the normal kick. And I also have here some distortion so that I can apply a little bit of distortion to the kick, make it a little bit more fat. And this path here, this audio path, is just the main path of the sample. Then we have these 2 pads here that combine into this air pumper. And let me first show you what this is doing. This is just a pump effect that is basically whenever the kick hits, is reducing the volume of the signal. And we have two paths. This path here, as you can see, I have an EQ and I have a reverb, and I used the ERL full stereo, but you could also use reverb too. And then I have this path here that has a delay. And this basically, I can match, or I can enable both, or I just enable one of them so that I can have different rumble effects. So let's go with just the reverb part. And you automatically see that it creates this vroom, vroom, this rumble in the kick. And we can play around with the volume here. We can have it very subtle or very aggressive. And then we can also add here this delay here, which makes the rumble sound more like the previous example, like the bass rumble, and it sounds something like this. And of course, we still have some EQ here that we can play around with, so that we can tune the rumble as we want. So this is very, very useful. And of course, we can mix and blend the both signals. We can have them, mix them here or mix them here as a whole, or the individual ones. Or I can just have the rumble with the delay. So as you can see, it's this patcher is ideal to make this type of patches and or this type of algorithms, and it makes it really, really fast. Instead of having to add every time that you want to make techno rumble, instead of having to go every time and apply or load these individual effects, you have everything here, and you can just mess around with the values so that it matches what you like. And the third and final tip is to resample your rumble. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to make a lot of effects, or I like to add a lot of effects to sounds, and then just commit that to audio to make that a single file, a single audio file that I can manipulate further. And this is very, very cool for this type of rumbles and this type of effects. So let's jump into FL Studio so that I can show you how we could resample this rumble in a very simple way using the patcher that we used in tip number 2. So as you can see here, I will enable also the reverb path, and then I have here the main path. So I'm going to disable this main path, and you can see I only have the rumble now. And one thing that I can also do is remove here the depth. And as you can see, this removes a little bit of the pumping effect. I think I will keep it, just because it's a very aggressive sound that it plays in the beginning. So I will keep it like that, and then I will go here and quick render as an audio clip. And then if we go to the playlist, we have our Techno Rumble here, as you can see, very nice. And if we loop this, of course we have that click there that we can probably just smooth this out, maybe generic, let's put generic, and maybe we can do something like that, so we don't have any clicking. And now we can bring up our kick, and now I have to go to the mixer and just bypass every single effect that we have. And the good thing about this is that now we can manipulate the pitch, or we can manipulate the sample. So let's pitch this down. Let's pitch this up. Let's maybe add some different effect here. Actually, I like 300. I think that sounds cool. But yeah, from this point on, you can go ahead and apply even further effects on this track and make it, or this clip, and make it way different and way more interesting. And this is how you can take your Rumble to the next level, is by doing all these 3 tips, combining everything together. You can have some really cool sounds. So that's it. If you are new here to this channel, I will ask you to subscribe and activate notifications so that you know when I upload new videos. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Also consider supporting this channel by buying one of the products at dailybeats.pt or become a premium member where you'll see all my videos. And if you are starting out in FL Studio, I have here a playlist where you can see a beginner's course for FL Studio, and also here a playlist where I have all my FL Studio videos so that you can become a master in FL Studio. That's it. My name is Tiago Duarte, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.